Okay, chemistry revision with Mr. Rankin. Eat, sleep, revise, repeat. Come on, let's go. Okay, there's the question paper. It's a sample assessment paper. It's chemistry C1 and it's foundation tier. So let's have a look then. Right, choose a red pen and let's go. Okay, 4/5 of the Earth's atmosphere is made up of nitrogen. We can tell that from the bar chart. Okay, have a look, nearly 80%. And finishing off this, the gas produced by photosynthesis. This is why we're here. Okay, so green plants, which photosynthesize, produce oxygen. Okay, and next, chlorine can be obtained from seawater. So that's got to be electrolysis. Because sodium chloride, the salt, sea salt, is going to be ripped apart. It's going to be attracted to the electrodes of electrolysis. Okay, condensing is what happens to water vapor when it becomes liquid. So that's going gas to liquid is condensing. And explain how the amount of carbon dioxide in the early atmosphere changed. Okay, so carbon dioxide was, oh geez, what's happening today? So, okay, okay, carbon dioxide was reduced by dissolving into the oceans. 2 marks. Okay. Next, explain why we need good ventilation. So we don't breathe in. Okay. 1 mark. The toxic gas, which is chlorine, toxic, 2 marks. Okay. Next question. So here we go. It's about metal coins. So why are the gold coins still shiny? Because they are unreactive. The gold is an unreactive metal. Suggest another property of gold. It's malleable. That means it can be beaten into shape. It can make coins. Fantastic. Right. Reduced is what happens when we have iron oxide. It says it reacts with carbon. So it's going to make carbon dioxide and iron. So if iron oxide loses oxygen, that's the opposite of oxidation, so it's reduced. Okay. Next question. Aluminium. Okay, so how does it help reduce transport costs? So it's low density, okay, which means that you'll need less fuel to transport it. Okay, low density, therefore less fuel, 2 marks. Okay, and alloys. Okay, so how do these atoms help to strengthen an alloy of aluminium? Okay, so those smaller atoms are different size atoms which, okay, prevent the atoms sliding over each other. Okay, 2 marks, prevent them from sliding over each other, and different size atoms. Okay, next question. Okay, so by recycling aluminium, we save natural resources. 1 mark. We prevent mining, which you might want to say ruins the landscape, 2 marks. And how else is that going to be? So, and it saves energy. Okay, fantastic. Okay, next one. Hopefully you're with that. Okay, look at that rock's got a nice fossil in it. So how does that tell us it's sedimentary? So the type of rock is sedimentary because the fossil is in intact. Okay, there wouldn't be fossils if it was igneous, because that's molten rock from volcanoes, and the fossils would be distorted if it was metamorphic, because they would have changed shape with the heat and pressure over millions of years. The name of building material from limestone. So we've got glass, cement, and concrete. Okay, next question. How limestone is changed into marble. So we're going from a sedimentary rock into a metamorphic rock, and the sedimentary, sorry, somebody at the door. Okay, so sedimentary into metamorphic. So you want to write about heat, pressure, and millions of years for your 3 marks. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, another type of calcium carbonate. So it's chalk, because we also have limestone and marble, which were just referred to in the previous questions. When calcium carbonate is heated very strongly, you get calcium oxide. So we're writing these things in a word equation. So calcium carbonate, which it gives us, it tells us that it's heated very strongly. So an arrow, heat, we can see this is going to be a thermal decomposition already, and one of the products is calcium oxide, and the gas that we're going to refer to has to be carbon. I can just fit this on. I don't want to do any symbols. Carbon dioxide, because it does say word equation. Don't do symbol equations if it says word equation. What type of reaction occurs when a compound is broken up by heat? That's going to be a thermal decomposition. Okay. If we start with 10 grams of that calcium carbonate in the equation above, then we are not going to lose any mass overall. So we take away the 5.6, which is the calcium oxide formed, which will leave 4.4, and then stick that answer into there. That's the carbon dioxide that's left. Okay, next question. It's about fuels. I can see that the process used to obtain petrol. Right, so to get any fractions from crude oil, we need fractional distillation. Petrol is a mixture of liquids with low boiling points. So low boiling points tells us why petrol is good. So it's volatile, okay, which means it burns easily. You might want to put that in brackets. And there's no solid products. There's no ash like you get with a fire, you know, a coal fire. There's no ash, no solid products. So which is good. So it's quite clean, although we know carbon dioxide isn't desirable. No solid products, and I'll just put this in for you. Volatile, easily ignites. Okay, burns easily. Okay, next question. What's caused these trees to be damaged? It's got to be acid rain, because the topic is about acid, isn't it? And have a look at them. Explain how burning fuels such as petrol leads to this atmospheric pollution. Okay, so there's impurities such as sulfur. The sulfur burns to make sulfur dioxide, okay, which reacts with water, so up in the atmosphere, reacts with water to form acid rain. So it's going to be sulfuric acid, because it's sulfur dioxide. Acid rain is great. Okay, so burning fuels, it's the sulfur in the petrol which leads to this atmospheric pollution. Okay, biofuels can be used instead of petrol. Ethanol, produced from plants as a biofuel. Name a plant that is used to produce ethanol. Okay, so remember, sugar's got a lot of energy, so sugar cane or sugar beet. Okay, explain the advantages of using biofuels instead of petrol. Okay, growing these plants takes in CO2, carbon dioxide. What other advantages do we have of using biofuels? Okay, and they are renewable. That's the other main one. We can grow them again. It only takes a year. It doesn't take millions of years like fossil fuels, so they're renewable. We can get those back. Next question. Which one of these is another non-renewable? Well, we can grow wood. We can grow vegetables. We can grow plants to make biodiesel. Kerosene is a fraction of crude oil, which is non-renewable. Anything from crude oil is non-renewable. Like methane. The two elements which are present, well, C and H. It's got to be carbon and hydrogen. Okay, and if we go further down, describe the test to show that this gas is carbon dioxide. Okay, so 1 mark for knowing that lime water, ka-ching, okay, we're looking for 2 marks, turns milky. Okay, ka-ching, another mark. Okay, right. Going back up, 6 mark question. We don't like these, but let's make it simple. It's asking about complete combustion and incomplete combustion. So I'm going to have 2 bullet points here. I'm going to say about complete combustion and incomplete combustion. Complete combustion causes or gives off carbon dioxide, which causes carbon dioxide, which causes global warming. Okay. Incomplete combustion causes carbon or gives off carbon monoxide, which is toxic and can compete with oxygen, preventing oxygen from being delivered to our body cells. Okay, so for getting our marks, to know that it causes carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, that's 2 marks. This causes global warming, and to know that this is toxic and how it prevents the oxygen getting around our body is 5 marks. If we're looking for one more thing, just check the mark scheme. Oh yeah, it talks about causing soot. So remember that there's a mark for writing well here. So if that's all tied together well, you should get that 6 mark. But it does talk about soot, which will be in your revision guide. Soot is just pure carbon, so there's not been enough oxygen to burn that carbon. And soot is carcinogenic. It can block up your chimney as well, that sort of thing. So soot's not good. It's the black stuff, black carbon. Okay, so next question. This symbol means harmful. So calcium hydroxide is harmful. So the farmer needs to prevent contact with his skin. Okay, so it's harmful, and so he needs to prevent it touching his skin. Explain why farmers add calcium hydroxide to the soil. Okay, so it is base. It's a base. It's basic, or it's an alkali. Ka-ching, 1 mark. We're looking for 2 marks though. So it neutralizes acidic soil, therefore helping crops to grow. But we've got the 2 marks there. It's very good. Okay, word equation again. Don't write symbols if it's asking for a word. Calcium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid. So what we need to know here is that acid and base make salt and water. Okay, acid and base make salt plus water. So water, we just write that in there. Thank you. And the salt, right, always start with the metal. So the salt is called calcium, okay, and chloride. Okay, that's the way that we name a salt. Okay, and next question. So we've got 6 marks. Evaluating the effectiveness and the value for money of these. Okay, so let's just have a little look. And so you need to say that you need to write this quite well. Maybe I should give you an example. Okay, so Okay, yes, right. So if we're looking at the best value for money as to overall effectiveness, then if we look at this, it's 5p a tablet. So the cost for 10, if we convert them all into 10 pence, so 5 times 2, which means we could neutralise 18 centimetres cubed of acid now. 5 times 2, so again 10 pence, okay, per tablet, which means we can neutralise 8. So the order of effectiveness would be least effective C, okay, and then next, most effective A. So if you write about that, so start with the least effective tablet, okay, and put them in that order. So C 1, 2, so it's C, B, D, and then A. Okay, so write about them in that order, talking about how effective each one is and the value for money, and that will get you the 6 marks. Okay, but I can't quite give it enough time now. I'm just thinking about going to pick my kids up. So thanks for listening. That was a paper. The 6 marks for this one are just basically coming out with which is the best value for money. Okay, so if you write a passage which says which are the best value tablets, best value for money, okay, that's going to be how you evaluate it. And obviously the best value for money is A, isn't it? A, there is this one. Okay, because for 10p neutralises 18 centimetre cubes of acid. That's how you want to tackle that question anyway. Okay, right. Thank you very much for listening. I've been Mr. Rankin, and this has been Chemistry Revision with Mr. Rankin. Eat, sleep, revise, repeat. Go on.